Imagine sitting in your favorite coffee shop. You hit send on an email, maybe check your bank balance. In that exact moment, your sensitive data is radiating through the air, invisible to you, but potentially accessible to someone sitting just 2 tables away. Most of us assume that entering a password to connect to that network creates a secure tunnel for our data. We treat that password like a physical lock. However, a password is only as effective as the protocol used to encrypt it. That behind-the-scenes math determines whether your information stays private or can be intercepted and read. If you have ever logged into your router, you have likely seen a list of acronyms like WEP, WPA, and WPA2. We are going to break down what those letters mean for your privacy and identify which ones are now obsolete. Our audit follows 2 specific tracks. First, identifying the protocol type encrypting your traffic. Second, verifying if the feature called WPS is active. This framework applies universally, whether configuring a home network, securing a business, or logging in while traveling. Spending 5 minutes in your router's admin panel allows you to see exactly how your data is being handled before it ever leaves your device. We begin with the baseline: open networks. These connections require no password, which means all data travels entirely unencrypted. On a public open network, every piece of data you send travels in plain text. An attacker on the same network can use basic tools to capture your login credentials directly from the air in a man-in-the-middle attack. To address this, the original Wi-Fi standard from 1997 included WEP, or Wired Equivalent Privacy. WEP relied on RC4 encryption. The goal was to provide wireless users with the same security as a physical Ethernet cable. The design was flawed. By 2001, researchers demonstrated WEP could be cracked in under 60 seconds using widely available software. Because WEP is mathematically broken, leaving legacy hardware on this setting is functionally the same as running an open network with no password at all. Relying on an open network or WEP means your sensitive data is being broadcast to anyone within range who chooses to listen. In 2003, the Wi-Fi Alliance released WPA as an emergency replacement for the failing WEP standard. WPA improved security by using dynamic keys, which meant the encryption changed for every data packet sent, a major step up from WEP's static keys. However, WPA was designed as a temporary patch and remained compatible with the same hardware as WEP. Over time, it developed its own set of known vulnerabilities. WPA2 arrived in 2004 as a ground-up redesign of wireless security, moving away from the stopgap measures of the previous year. WPA2 integrated the Advanced Encryption Standard, or AES. This is the same cryptographic standard used by governments to protect classified data. It is most commonly used in 2 versions: WPA2 Personal, which uses a single password for homes, and WPA2 Enterprise, which requires unique credentials for every user in an organization. AES proved so effective that WPA2 remained the industry standard for over a decade. Its primary weakness is the handshake process. If an attacker captures the data exchanged when your device first connects, they can attempt to crack your password offline using brute force. While WPA is now outdated, WPA2 AES remains a reliable and acceptable standard for most everyday home and business needs. The WPA3 standard, released in 2018, was designed specifically to address the brute force vulnerabilities found in WPA2. WPA3 uses a framework called SAE that requires your device to interact directly with the network for every login attempt. This prevents an attacker from capturing handshake data and guessing your password on their own computer. It also includes forward secrecy, which ensures that even if a network password is compromised in the future, your past encrypted sessions cannot be decrypted. Even with high-level encryption active, many routers have a secondary feature enabled by default that creates a significant security gap: WPS. Wi-Fi Protected Setup, or WPS, allows devices to connect by using a simple 8-digit PIN or a physical button rather than a long, complex password. The problem is that an 8-digit PIN has a very limited number of combinations. A computer can cycle through every possible PIN and gain access to the network in a matter of hours. Configuring WPA3 for its advanced encryption offers little benefit if the 8-digit WPS PIN remains active, giving attackers a much simpler path into the network. Our comparison table confirms the timeline. WEP and WPA are mathematically broken and should be removed from any active network immediately. For home users, ensure your router is set to WPA2 AES. If your hardware supports WPA3, you should enable it to protect against offline password guessing. Business owners should eliminate open networks entirely and ensure that any guest or staff Wi-Fi is protected by at least WPA2 encryption. If you are connecting in public, assume any open network is insecure and avoid accessing sensitive accounts unless behind an additional layer of encryption. Finally, everyone should log into their router's admin panel tonight and disable the WPS feature. Digital security is not just about the length of your password, it is about intentionally selecting the cryptographic standard that handles your data.